So hi everyone. On placement lecture series, today we have with us Vivek Bhargav Bhaiya. We all know last year he has started coding lecture series. That was so Bhaiya. We as a juniors wants to know more about preparation for coding companies. We also want to know their general selection procedure and other fun tips which you think will be helpful for us.
Okay, so hi guys, this is Vivek Bhargav. For those who do not know me, I graduated in June 2015. That is the last batch recently, and right now I'm working at Visa in Bangalore. And I also have experience in working in a startup for 1 year. If you know what to remind them, I launched it, and I was also in the placement team last year, and I handle all like I started the coding lectures, which is going on in the campus right now, and like monitored by Shri Raj. So last year I started that thing. So first of all, like the placement team has asked me about like how should candidates, how should students at IIT Guwahati should prepare for the placements. Okay. Uh, so before going into how you should prepare for placement, I would like to uh, say that you should think about why you should prepare for placements. There are all kinds of students in the campus, and the environment which is building up in the campus, it's different than other semesters which you have been into the campus from semester 1 to 6. Now things have changed, environment is getting changed inside the campus for you, and it's a big phase of your life. It's the phase of your life where you have to take important decision. So the first question which you should consider is whether you want placement or do not want placement. Okay, because you may see that everybody in your lobby, in your like all the people which you know from last 3 years, they have been like many of them have jumped into placement. They have started preparing for the placement, and talks are going on like what kind of companies are there, what should we prepare, and I know this much amount. I am able to code. I am not able to code, and you are still there stuck into thinking about what do you really want to go into placement? Do you really want to work inside in a company? So the two kinds of people which I'm talking about is placement. People who want placement and people who do not want placement. The people who do not want placement are people like who wants to go for their own startup right after the college, or maybe they have started their building up their product. People are there who opt for higher studies, go for MS in various universities. And then there are unconventional routes. Uh, there's not many people who go for these routes, but there are still people. I've seen people from my batch also who goes to routes like politics is there, sports is there, army is there, and many other ways are there. Okay, so I would say to these people who are not opting for placement, do not get terrified about like everybody's jumping into the placement. If you don't want placement, just go for your heart. Don't jump into this placement. Continue doing what you are trying to do. Continue pursuing what you want to pursue. There is no point in joining a company if you do not want to work. Okay. These all these lectures which were designed, which were started last year, I was very specific to the placement team, and I was very specific to the students about this thing that these lectures are only for those students who want to join a company, who want placement. If you are forcibly coming into the lecture and you do not want to join a company, this is totally waste of time for you. You should not come to these lectures and you should not prepare for placements. You should better invest your time in thinking about what you are going to do after college and making strategies and start working on that. Okay, now coming to people who want placement. So there are various kinds of companies. Companies like IT companies are there, which offer you SD software developer profile. There are marketing profiles offered by companies. There are business analyst profile. Then there are data science engineers, and many more profiles are there, which are offered by various companies during placements. One more thing which I want to convey is that don't think it like companies. are some authority who is certifying you about how much caliber do you have. Think about placements like a barter. You are offering them your services as an engineer, that you will help them make great products by working in the company, and in return they are gonna give you good life, salary, and all those things which they offer. Okay, think it like that. It's a barter. The interview, the whole placement process, it's just for them to check that whether you are eligible, whether you are capable enough to work in their company. Because you haven't seen their company, you haven't seen the work culture, you haven't seen the projects in the company. So it's just for them to check whether you can work in their company or not. Okay, and I believe that coding profile, SD profile, is not that much difficult. Uh, Anybody who is not into coding and who haven't coded after the first semester or second semester, whatever that is, I believe that you can learn that much amount of coding, that much amount of programming and software engineering, which is required to work in a company in 2 to 3 months by working hard. Okay. Uh, so during so I cannot tell you about how to prepare for marketing profile, data science engineer, business analyst, all those things. You may find better people. I would request placement team to contact appropriate person to guide about these profiles. I only know about how to prepare for IT companies. Okay. So once again, make this point. Don't jump into placement just because everybody is jumping into it. Go for it only if you want to go for it. Okay. And so this is the direction part where you are going to invest your hard work. So as I always say, hard work is vector quantity, and magnitude and direction both are important. So this is the direction part. Once you have figured out, like, this is the direction in which we have to put my efforts, then the only thing which is left is the magnitude, how much magnitude you should put to go through it. Okay. So now I would focus on the preparation for IT companies. There are various companies like Amazon, Google, Goldman Sachs. Then startups are there, Housing, Topper. Then mature startups like Flipkart, Snapdeal, Myntra. There are various companies. They need software engineers come to the campus, and usually the general procedure for hiring engineers is like, first there is a written round. Uh, Sunny, can you hear me?
Yeah. We can hear. I can hear.
Yeah, okay, fine. So the first, it starts with written round. Maybe most of the companies have only single written round, and there are few companies which go for 2 rounds of written round. Then after that, there are very few companies which go for like, for HD profile. Then after that there is a shortlist. Okay, companies send their shortlist to the placement team. Okay, these are the candidates which we have selected based on the written round, and then they have their interview scheduled during the placement season, like in the starting of December 1, December 2. They just have their interview schedule. So after these, so during October and November, you guys will be busy giving written rounds of these companies. Like every day, there will be some company visiting your campus for the written round, and you will be uh, writing codes there in the labs. And after the end of November, you will be having a bunch of companies which in your list for shortlisted, and you have to sit in the interviews. And then during the interviews, there are just 2 or 3 rounds of interviews by the engineers, by whatever the panel is there of the respective company. And at the end of the slot, the placement season is divided into different slots. Slot 1, slot 2, slot 3. In one slot, like 6, 7 companies start their process, and the process continues for like 4, 5 hours. When the slot ends, the company declares what are the candidates they want to hire. And once you are, if you are hired, if you are in the list of the company, then you are out of the process. You are placed. Okay. And if you are placed in like say 3 companies out of the 7 companies which are in the same slot, so before before starting that slot for you, your placement team will ask you about your preferences. Like if you are selected by out of selected by say three companies, then what is your preference list? So whatever whichever company you have put on the top in your list, you will be placed in that company, and then you will start the process. So this is the process which is general to the placement team. So coming to the first round, which is the written round, I would start with people who have only coded for the first semester and like are not much into coding from have not much coded in the respective year, like second year and third year. The first thing which you should focus on is the basics. The basics are very important. It may seem like okay, it's not nothing new, but they are important. So first thing which you should focus on is you should be capable of writing program if you know the algorithm. Okay, so if I tell you this sort, you will do this, then you will um, like merge this, then you will do this, this. I will tell you whole algorithm. Then you should be able to write program for that. This is your first objective, which you have to achieve. Okay. The placement preparation team, that the job of placement preparation team is to take you to that level, so that you can write program once you have the algorithm. The next stage is thinking about the algorithm. You have to learn how to think about an algorithm. How once you are given the problem, how you should approach the problem and how you should design an algorithm. So solving the problem is divided into two steps: design the algorithm, and the second step, write the code. First step is to learn how to write the code. The placement preparation team lectures are designed in such a way that first of all they will teach you about the basics: for loop, while loop, if else, functions, pointers. These very important concepts like pointers and all this, these are very important concepts. Very simple concepts. You may have heard about these pointers and all those things again and again, but these are very simple if taught very clearly. Like if the person who is teaching you these things are confused himself, then you are gonna get confused. So if you once you get the idea about all these basics, you have hands-on, like you are practiced much about these basics, you will taught about all the entities like where you will be taught how to store the data. Data structures are like arrays are there, stacks are there, queues are there, linked list is there, trees are there. Okay, so these are the data structures. So during an algorithm, you may need to store data in some format so that the algorithm becomes efficient. So after learning the basics, you have to learn these data structures. Okay, how to store data, how to which data structure should we use so that our algorithm becomes efficient. Okay, and after these two steps, basics and data structures, the third step is the algorithms part, where you will learn about various like BFS, breadth first search is there, depth first search is there, Dijkstra is there, binary search is there, sorting algorithms are there, various you know about those things, right? So you will be taught about these things. So at the end of this course, which Shreyas is taking, the placement preparation team is carrying on, you will be able to you will be knowing these things. If you put your efforts in, you will be knowing these things, basics, structures and algorithms. Okay. And during the process, what you have to put from your side is attend all the lectures, do whatever the placement team and the lecturers are asking you to do, the exercises which they are giving to you, solve all the questions, practice as much as you can. Just dedicate this whole semester to learn, to progress. Think it like learning. Like you think, don't think it like you are preparing for placement. Think it like you are learning something new, which will be helpful for you for the rest of your life. So these things should be clear, very much clear in your mind. And for for practice, there is a very simple rule. You have to buy or refer to this Karuvanshi book. I am showing you on the screen. Wait. So you have to buy this Data Structures and Algorithms Made Easy book by Narsima Karumanchi. Okay, so this book is very simple and all the concepts are there in this book very clear. Very it starts from very basics and take you to the advanced level. And after that, simultaneously you have to keep practicing on this website which is called oj.leadcode, or you can simply write leadcode.com. Okay, leetcode.com. This website says, wait, I'll share the screen. Uh, so this is oj.leadcode.com, and this website has various problems set, like algorithm set is there. And in algorithm set there are various problems, like right now they have set up to 56 problems. The beauty of this website is that the level of questions, the type of questions on this in this website is exactly the same which is asked in written rounds in the companies. Companies like Amazon, Visa, Housing Topper, Flipkart, Myntra. The level of these questions are exactly to the same level of these companies. These questions are uh, collected from the resources like which are asked in the written rounds in last previous years. So you can see also see companies like LinkedIn, Google, Uber, Airbnb, and these questions are taken from the written round of these companies. And so the level is not less and not too high. It's exactly the same. And when you go to the problem, it's very simple interface. You are given a problem and you have to write code for it in the editor. So during the written rounds, it will be exactly like this, like on HackerRank or various programming competitive like this hiring platforms. You will be given problem and you have to write code on their interface itself. So if you practice on this interface, one thing is that your problem solving skills will be improved, and second thing you will be learning how to write directly on the interface given by the company, like HackerRank and all those things. And also when you submit solution, your validity of your code is validated using running on various test cases. So you will get to know like what kind of test cases are there, what kind of corner cases are there. It's general, right? When you solve problems, you will get to know what kind of general cases are there, corner cases are there which you should consider. So if you target till the end of this semester, or like till October 10th, should be to solve at least 100 problems. When I say at least 100 problems, it means at least 100 problems. You have to solve 100 problems, and like I guarantee you, if you are confident enough to uh, solve all the problems on this website leadcode.com, and you are confident enough to understand what Karumanchi, the problems in Karumanchi, you are able to design algorithms for that. You can be placed in any company like Amazon, any company like Goldman Sachs, any company like Housing, Topper, Flipkart, Snapdeal, Myntra, all of these. This is sufficient material to get placed into any company. Okay. And second thing about, wait, I stop sharing the screen. Okay. Now, after this, I would request placement preparation team to conduct HackerRank mock test in collaboration with the HackerRank ambassador. So, like they should be conducted frequently and according to the level, like, according to the course which have been already taught to the students in the lectures. So you should conduct this mock test like starting from September, and like people should know, people should practice on the HackerRank platform or programming optimized bits platform. There are various platforms. You should students should be able to practice on these platforms. So I would request placement team to conduct mock tests on these platforms, and I would request all the students to participate in those mock tests so that you get to know how to write code in time frame environment. So if you are given whole day to write a program, you can like think of the problem and you can do it and try. But the most common problem which occurs with student is like when they have to solve two problems in 1 hour, one is of medium level and one is of difficult level or easy or medium, they usually panic and they are not able to. Like I have seen people, right? I've seen people starting from hello world. I've seen people learning from hello world and getting placed into companies. I've seen people who have practiced. I've seen people who are not practicing and were hoping that they will get placed. And there were many people who were just into this whole process just because everybody was there. So practice well, practice in time frame environment, write code there. Even people from computer science and engineering who you know are good programmers, even they panic at the time in time frame environment when they are given 1 hour and to solve those problems. Even they panic, and it's not like they are stuck into algorithm. They are stuck into writing code. A very basic problem like very basic problem errors are there which they are have been doing there. So that's all for the preparation thing. Then one more important thing, which is then coming to the next stage, which is of the interviews, and also you can say from for few companies it's important for written on also, and that is object-oriented programming in C++. This is the topic which have been ignored by all of us, all of you guys, during these 3 years, because you do not beauty of object-oriented programming when you write short code, when you write 10 to 15 lines of code. You understand the beauty of this paradigm, object-oriented programming, when you write big softwares, when you write big programs, when you develop a whole product. Okay. So for you may have perspective like, okay, to check your intelligence, company should not ask these questions. This is just about reading something, just about knowing stuffs. You may have that perspective, but companies which are coming to hire you, they have different perspective, and they because everybody here is working on these principles, object-oriented programming. And if they're asking about this thing, they ask you very basic thing about this thing. And if you uh, do not have knowledge about this thing, then they have this impression that okay, this guy is not that much apt for software engineering in their company. You should know what is polymorphism, what is abstraction, what is inheritance, what is virtual functions, virtual classes, like all those things. At least you should know what they are. Even if you don't have applied there in real life, you should have knowledge about actually what they are. There will be lectures by placement preparation team on these things. I would suggest you guys to go through this object-oriented programming by object-oriented programming. Wait, I'll share the screen. Yeah, this object-oriented programming in C++ by Robert Lefford. So this book has covered both things, teaching you C++ and teaching you object-oriented programming. So out of I have read this book many times, and many of my friends have also referred to this book. So if you like from this book, chapter 3 to chapter 11 is what you need to cover. Loops and decisions, structures, function, object and classes, arrays and string, operator overloading, inheritance, pointers, and virtual functions. These are the chapters which you have to read from this book, chapter 3 to 11. After reading this book, you will be comfortable in the syntax in C++. You will be having deep knowledge about uh, all the operators which you use in C++, and you also will be having knowledge about inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, all the object-oriented concepts. So I would seriously suggest you to read these chapters 3 to 11 in that book. Okay. So at last, what I have conveyed in this whole talk is that if you are preparing for IT company, if you want placement, if you want a job in IT company, you should attend all the lectures by placement preparation team. You should refer to Karumanchi and read the books and solve problems. You should solve problems on leetcode.com, and you should read chapters from Object-oriented programming C++ by Robert Lefort, chapter 3 to 11. That's all what you need in this till October 10. And keep participating in those HackerRank mock tests which is conducted by testing team so that you learn to get to know how to perform in time frame environment. Okay, that's all from my side. Yeah, Sunny, if you want to ask anything.
Yeah, another question where written test, what is the duration of written test and number of
What is
questions
the
they ask?
so usually
Duration of
like
written test.
so for some companies duration is for 1 hour. For some companies it's 2 hour, and it's not more than 2 hour for any company. That's what happened in our case, and what's have been happening from previous years. So for 1 hour, many companies give you two questions to solve, and if there are two questions, usually the level is like one is easy question and one is a medium to hard level question. And if there are no, I don't think even if there are 2 hours of time frame is there for some companies. Mostly it's 90 minutes question, and in 90 minutes you have to solve three questions. And if not three questions, then most of the companies what they do is they club two types of questions in that exam. Object yeah, objective questions are there, like you have to solve 30 questions like ABCD and you just to tick, and then one or two programming questions are there. Okay, so this object oriented programming which I am talking about is the objective questions. They are mostly on this OOPS, object-oriented programming in C++. So most of the uh, objective questions which are there in the exam in the written round, they are usually asked about, like they will give you few classes, then they will write the main function, and then they will ask you about what will be the output of this code. Then four options are there. Then there are straight questions like if I declare this class as public, can I assess it from there? What will be the error? If there will there be segmentation fault? Will there be so objective questions are like this? Okay, and coding questions are simple, just like questions on leetcode.com. You are just given a problem, you have to write the code and pass all the test cases. Okay, yeah, that's all. That's the written one.
Uh, um, Moving toward the next questions, for coding company, I think you should have a good knowledge of data structure and algorithm. You also said about the loops. So for data structure and
Yeah,
algo, means if anyone don't
yeah.
know more about that, how should
So
they prepare?
for data structures and algorithm, you have to read Karumanchi, this book. Data structures and algorithm made easy by Narasimha Karumanchi. For learning object-oriented programming and basics, you have to read this book, uh, Object-Oriented Programming in C++ by Robert Lefort. And for practicing, you have to refer to this website, leetcode.com. So,
Okay,
like,
so
mark my
yeah,
statement, I
please.
have experience, like, if you are able to solve questions on LeetCode, you are able to, you are confident enough, you can solve that. You, you can clear any, you can replace any of the companies, Amazon, Google, Flipkart. So your target should be to uh, be capable enough to solve problems on object of LeetCode, LeetCode.com. Okay.
Uh, uh, okay. So, where any other general tips you want to give us? Means, as we are
So
means
general tip is
we
the
all
same
know
thing
that.
which I said in the beginning. General tip is the same thing which I said in the beginning. Don't go for placement if you don't want to go for placement, because I've seen people right now in my friend circle which have started to say that okay, I cannot do this job from 9 to 6 daily. I have to look for something else. Okay, even though they are placed, they are not that happy. They are like every day they are going, there are meetings, they are given projects about which they don't even know, they are not confident enough will they be able to do that thing. So every day they are lagging behind other guys and their confidence level is going down every day. It is happening to them. And Don't go for it if you don't want to do something. Look for the options which you want to do what you want, and only if you are confident enough that yes, you want to become a software engineer, you want to help companies with building great products, and you want to be a software engineer in that company, go for this thing. Otherwise, go for higher studies. Higher studies is a good thing. If you are been thinking about this thing, take that very seriously. Prepare for all those GRE and all those things seriously. Go for higher studies. If you are going for a startup, startup is the thing like the route which I will be choosing in my like future. Like if I talk about myself, again these all are personal views. You may wholly or partially concur with me or may totally discard points put up with me. But like thinking about what decision I took in during after my intern, I did intern at Amazon.com. So I thought of like okay, I can work as a software engineer, but that's not the thing which I want to do. I want to go for a startup. I want to have my own company, and I want to build great products. It's not about revenue. It's not about money. At okay, I will be earning great money. I will be enjoying work. I will be having my own authority. I will be there at the top level in the company. These all are secondary things. The prime thing is that okay, I will have my own company and I will be building great products for the world, and like which are there in the world just because of me. So that's what I thought after my intern. And then I concentrated on developing my skills. I was good at programming, so like I went through all this process by myself and learned how to write programs. I read that book. I read everything which I have been telling you. This is the procedure which by which I went and I learned things. And after that, I started to build a product with my team, which I built during my intern, and I worked on that product for entire 4th year. And at the last, like in the February of this year, I launched that product. You know about it, mindem dot. You can visit mindem.in. And then after that, after working on that product for 1 year, then I realized that okay, I can build products, but I cannot build quality product as of now because I don't have that experience. I don't have that industry level of efficiency in me in writing a bugless code, in writing big projects, in designing architecture and all those things. So I decided, okay, I will be working in a good company which offers me great products, great projects to work on. I will be working with teams and I will be learning here at Visa how to make big products. And maybe after like 1 or 2 years, I will be when I will feel comfortable. Till that time, also I'm working on some products on my own at home, and when I will feel comfortable about that thing, I will uh, leave the job and go for my startup. So that's what I thought. You may have a totally different view, and you may have a totally different path in your mind. Whatever the path it is, go for it. That's all.
So thank you so much for your time. And we from placement team thinks that it will really help the students who are appearing in the placement in the December. Thank you so much.
Okay. Best of luck, guys.